Here's a thought. Yoga doesn't have to be good vibes only. Sometimes you may feel extreme lows, even depression. And if that's your experience right now, please take this practice for some support and maybe a sense of lightness and ease. Hi folks, my name is Casey. I use the pronoun she, her. This is the Yoga Wild YouTube channel, and this is yoga for depression. Lows will look different for each of us, and they can look different day to day. When you are experiencing a loss of pleasure in life, feelings of guilt or low self-worth, you can't sleep, can't eat, can't concentrate, and then these things start to impair your daily functions or relationships, you may be dealing with depression. Now, there are many different causes and types of depression. Some are considered regular, things everyone will go through. Others may be clinical and require professional treatment. Now, yoga practice may help give an active role in healing, limit mental chatter, negative chatter, and facilitate self-acceptance. To be clear, I am not suggesting that this class or yoga as a standalone treatment plan, but as one of your tools for support. So grab as many props as you like, block, strap, blanket. For this class, I will challenge you to add in props, even in postures you don't usually need them. And the intention is to offer kindness and support to your body. We will begin on our backs in Shavasana. As you make your way to Shavasana, go ahead and bring a blanket with you. And that might look more like a folded towel from your house. And we'll begin on our back and practicing Durga pranayama. And this breathing exercise is a calming, grounding pranayama to help focus your attention on the present moment and get in touch with the sensations in your physical body. So place your blanket over your belly so you relax your hands down. You can walk your shoulder blades closer together. If it's just not very comfortable to have your legs straight, you could always bend your knees and let your knees kind of knock together. And just start to notice your natural breath. You could even bring your hands to your belly. With your next inhale, expand your belly like you were blowing up a balloon. As you exhale, let the air out through your nose. Continue like that. Feel your belly expand. And then let it go. Take a few more like that on your own. With your next inhale, expand your belly, and then try to take in just a little bit more, a little sip of air, and feel your ribs expand. Exhale, let the air out through your nose, starting from your ribs, then your belly. Inhale, fill up your belly, expand your ribs. Exhale, release from your ribs, then your belly. And take a few more here. Feeling the impact of your breath. With your next inhale, fill up your belly, expand your ribs, and then take another little sip of air so your breath comes up into your chest. And then as you exhale, release from your chest, your ribs, your belly. And continue this breath, feeling your breath expand from your low, mid, to upper abdomen, and release from your upper, mid, lower abdomen. And just stay present with each round of breath, with the waves as you breathe in and breathe out. And feel free to stay here. Otherwise, I'd invite you to shift into Supta Baddha Konasana, but using props. So maybe you're used to this supported bound angle where your feet come together and you open your knees wide. For today, I invite you to bring the blocks under your thighs or knees for support. So throughout this practice, again, I'll be inviting you to use props. It's not about doing the deepest or best version of a posture or pose. It's about finding support, just offering a little kindness, a little care to your body. Keep in mind, not all styles or types of yoga can be supportive or helpful if you're feeling depressed. If you usually have a vigorous or a heated practice, trying on something a little slower, more gentle, may have more of an impact. And we will transition our meat into ragdoll. So if your Shavasana is still, just set your blanket aside. From Supta Baddha Konasana, point your knees up to the ceiling, set your blocks aside. And you could roll off to your side, or you could start to rock and roll. Bring your thighs into your chest, build a little momentum. And then we'll meet ragdoll. Tuck your heels in, bring your tailbone up, and fold over your legs. So from ragdoll, you're in a forward fold, but I invite you to have a nice wide base with your feet. Toes point forward, and it might serve you to kind of place your blocks under your hands, or you can box out your arms and just sway side to side. So a physical yoga practice can be a natural way to increase serotonin, and serotonin production plays a role in the treatment of depression. So you can nod your head yes or no. Lower your fingertips to your mat. Maybe walk your feet in a little. Add a slight bend to your knees and slowly roll up to stand. So keep your gaze down. Tuck your chin to your chest. And eventually we'll meet Mountain Pose Tadasana. As you make your way into Mountain Pose, maybe just roll out your shoulders. You can kind of sway your hips, add some circles there, and then settle into balance. Feel rooted into the earth. Then draw energy up from the earth. Open your chest, lengthen the back of your neck. You can press your palms together, gaze at your fingertips, maybe even close your eyes. And often in yoga classes, I encourage students to take the time to draw in, to turn inward. But when we're talking about yoga for depression, I'm actually going to encourage the opposite. So maybe think about coming out of your shell, feeling a little lift, extra lift in your heart. We'll move into a half Surya Namaskar A. Inhale, sweep your arms up, Urdhva Hastasana, upward salute. And then exhale, bend your elbows, cactus arms. So you're going to open your elbows wide, scoop your chest up with your shoulder blades, and then maybe even gaze up. Still firm and strong in your legs, and containment in your core as you lift your heart. Inhale, stand tall, come back to your neutral spine, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. You could bring arms out wide or just pass your hands through center. Inhale, halfway lift. Fingertips could stay grounded. You could come to blocks or shins. I usually have a little bend in my knees. Breathe here as you lengthen your spine, lengthen your neck, and then forward fold. Inhale, stand tall, reach your arms up, upward salute. Exhale, hands to heart center. Couple more rounds, breath to movement. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, cactus arms, elbows wide, lift your heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, not in a huge rush. Be mindful of your transitions. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, stand tall, root down, reach up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, go post arms. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, stand up tall. Exhale, hands to your heart. Pause here, just take a moment. See what it feels like to just be moving with your breath, moving in your body. Before we transition to our next flow, I'll invite you to place a blanket horizontal across your mat. So we will see a grounded lunge in our flow. And often I just use a mat. I don't use any extra padding, but again, we're just kind of offering some kindness and support. No reason to tough it out. If you're on a hard surface, just take that extra softness underneath. And standing on your right leg, just start to find some circles with your left ankle. And go both directions. Then pick up your left knee, single leg Tadasana. Draw your belly in, flex your toes back toward your left shin. You could always rest your toes on a block again, maybe just enjoy a little extra support. Option even to reach your hands up toward the ceiling. Inhale. Exhale, grounded lunge. Take your time as you transition. Step your left foot back. And then lower your left knee down. So we'll be in a grounded lunge here. Our first time here, we'll take a little extra time. Maybe you just kind of rock forward and back. And be mindful if your front knee is crossing way over your toes, you might not be feeling much sensation. I mean, if you're getting a huge stretch through the back of your right ankle, then stay here if that feels good. Otherwise, I invite you to take a little longer stance and sink into your hips. Then base your left hand on the ground, or I'm going to use a block, and start to twist your chest open to the right. You can kind of crawl your right foot maybe to the edge or even off your mat as you sink in a little deeper with your hips. Now think of staying lifted or open in your chest. So you're not kind of sagging into the ground, you're lifting up and away. And this is a great place to stay, or you can add a quad stretch. Hug your left heel into your seat. Whew. I feel that. Option to reach your right fingertips back, and you could capture your left foot and then just encourage your heel in a little closer to your glute. Your gaze can stay down, up, or back. We're here for a few more breaths. So find a position or sensation where you can maintain an even inhale and exhale. You're not holding your breath. And then we'll slowly transition back to a forward fold. So release your left foot with care. You can bring your hands to your blocks or your mat. Bring your right foot in and then step your left foot up. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach your hands up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, hands to your heart or your hips. Balance on your left leg and start to find those ankle rolls with your right ankle. So often in our yoga practice, we can do a lot of pointing, plantar flexion, or flexing, dorsiflexion, and just taking a moment to find other range of motion, mobility in your ankle. And then pick up your right knee, single leg Tadasana. Pause here or rest your right toes down. Maybe even reach your fingertips up. But feel containment as you're drawing everything into your midline, still lifted and open in your chest. Inhale. Exhale, grounded lunge. Plenty of time to step back. You can take that transition extra slow and lower your right knee down. And then again, you can add a little pulse or movement here. Base your right hand on the ground or a block. Walk your left foot more toward the edge of your mat as you sink into your hips and start to lift up and away. And maybe even lower to a forearm if that works for you. Option to add in the quad stretch, bring your right heel to your glute. You could reach back with your left hand. And for this round, you're bringing your heel in as close to your seat as possible. And if you're like me, you might be feeling a huge stretch or sensation in your right thigh and your quad. A few more breaths here. Try to avoid collapsing down. Stay lifted, open in your chest, drawing your heel in. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Slow transition. Ground your hands. Step your back foot up. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, stand tall, reach up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Balance on your right leg. Single leg Tadasana. Lift up your left knee. And then this time, bring awareness to your left knee. And we'll find some movement here. So again, that can look like forward and back, but I invite you to play around. What does it look like to kind of sway side to side? Maybe you can make circles, like you were drawing a circle with your left toes, both directions. Notice you have to gaze at something, you have to focus. You might wobble. Then inhale, find stillness, maybe reach your hands up. Exhale, grounded lunge. Take your time, whatever that transition looks like to you, lower your left knee down. Base your left hand on the ground or a block. Inhale, this time sweep your right hand forward, up and back. And then exhale, capture your left foot. So you don't have to be in the quad stretch. You can just stay in the twist. If you do capture your left foot, I invite you to start to add a kick. So kicking your left foot into your hand, opening your chest. Different sensation than what we experienced the first round. Option even to use a strap to bring a little bit more connection and add the kick. So find the variation that works for you. As you stay open in your chest. Inhale. Exhale. Slowly make your way back. Forward fold. Uttanasana. Pick up your back knee. Step your left foot up. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach your hands up, stand tall. Exhale, hands to your heart or your hips. Inhale, single leg Tadasana, pick up your right knee. Pause here. Start to find a little movement in your right knee. Forward, back, side to side. You can let this be playful. You don't have to take it serious. If you wobble or fall out, that's okay. Your gaze can be down toward the ground or a little bit more lifted. Inhale, find stillness. Exhale, grounded lunge. Take your time as you transition. Almost like a seesaw, you're hinging forward as you reach your toes back and then land soft. Base your right hand. Inhale, sweep your left fingertips forward, then up and around. Exhale, option to clasp your right foot. Again, you could use a strap here. And for this round, I invite you to add a kick. So you're sending your right shin, your right foot toward the back of your space as you open your chest. And try to get lighter in your right hand or forearm, whatever is connected to the earth. We're not collapsing in. Feel that lift out, active in the whole body. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Take your time. Both hands connect to the ground or your blocks first, and then step up. So using the support of the earth, support of props. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach up, stand tall. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, lift your left knee, single leg Tadasana. This time, we're going to focus on our hips. So you could bring your whole leg forward and back. I invite you to maybe play with some circles, drawing circles in your knees, maybe even kind of crossing your foot back and behind. Play with the direction. Then inhale. Exhale. Send your left foot back. This time, base your left hand. Keep your back knee lifted as an option. You can do what we did the first couple rounds if you would prefer. Start to find your twist and then reach your right fingertips up. And as you reach your hand up, draw your shoulder blades together. You could even gaze up. And you can stay here or shift into horizon lunge. I prefer my hand on something more stable like the ground for horizon lunge. And point all 10 toes toward the right edge of your mat. And start to lower your left hip just to hover away. So you might be feeling big stretch on the outer part of your hips now. You can reach your right fingertips toward the back of your space. Press down in your right foot. Find length, open your chest. Inhale, back up, open arm twist. Point your toes to the top of your mat. Exhale, wide-legged forward fold. Adjust your toes so they point toward the left edge of your mat. And feel free to take your blocks with you. And I'm going to turn and face you so you can kind of see options with the blocks. Maybe keep your blocks under your shoulders. Maybe start to bring your hands in line with your feet. You can keep a little bend in your knees, stay long in your spine, and take a little time here in this forward fold. So forward folds in all the different ways that we can take them, downward dog, seated, standing, can be grounding. They can be soothing and calming. Recognize all the points that are connected to the earth. Then inhale, halfway lift, lengthen your spine, shoulders stack over your hands. Exhale, point your toes to the top of your mat and step your left foot up, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen your spine. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, stand tall, reach up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, single leg Tadasana, pick up your right knee and pause here. Start to find that movement or opening with your hips. So you don't have to be like stiff or rigid like a statue. You don't have to lock out your standing leg. You can add a little bend, kind of move. Don't worry about doing it right or perfect. You're just kind of playing, moving in your body. Know that you can always find support from a prop and just rest your toes down. Inhale. Exhale. Step your right toes back. Option this time to keep your right knee lifted as you base your right hand. Inhale, open arm twist. Lift your left hand up. So maybe you start with a block for support. Feel the opening in your chest. Strong through your back leg. Gaze can be down to your mat or up toward your left fingertips. Know that you can stay here or try on horizon lunge. Point your 10 toes to face the left edge of your mat. And you can adjust, don't feel stuck. I like to kind of bring my front foot back a little and then dip your right hip down just to hover away. Reach your left fingertips toward the back of your mat, open in your chest. Inhale, pick back up, toes point forward. Exhale, wide-legged forward fold. This time, walk your hands toward the right edge of your mat. Point your toes toward the side edge and then hinge and fold. And this can look similar, it can look different. You can bring hands again in line with your feet. Maybe use props this time. Maybe even bring a block under the crown of your head. So you can feel that support and connection. Engage your quads, the front of your thighs. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen your spine. Exhale, forward fold to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, downward facing dog. Plant your palms, step your toes back. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. And we will be here for about 7 to 10 breaths. So spread your fingers wide. Find a little grip with your fingertips. Press the inner part of your palms down into your mat. Now firm up your forearms as you wrap your triceps down. Lengthen your low back. Come back to your breath. Know that you can lower to your knees. Tabletop, take a rest at any time, and join us back when you're ready. We'll be in child's pose in just a moment, so a few more breaths here. Again, downward facing dog is a mild inversion. It's a forward fold. Feel grounded. Feel connected. Inhale. Exhale, lower to your knees. Child's pose Balasana. Sink back on your heels, and you have the option to keep your knees a little closer together and fold over your thighs, more of an embryo position. You can even rest your hands by your feet as you ground your forehead down. If you prefer extended child's pose, knees can be wider. And then bring your belly between your thighs and reach your hands forward, or even pillow your hands. So another thing I don't usually have is a blanket under my knees in child's pose, but it actually feels really nice. So I would encourage you to try that if you haven't. And a block with a blanket or some support under your forehead can feel good too. Palms up can be receiving, palms down is grounding. As you take about 5 breaths here, maybe come back to your Durga pranayama, your 3-part breath. Feel your inhale, expand your belly, ribs, chest. And your exhale, deflate from your chest, ribs, and belly. And when you're ready, just transition to a comfortable seat. Maybe sit on your blanket or your block. Close your eyes or just find a soft gaze down. As you bring your hands to heart center, remember it's the choices you make that define who you are far more than your abilities. Thank you for choosing to practice your yoga. We will close with one final breath together, so lift your thumbs to the center of your forehead. Take a big breath in and a big breath out. Thank you again for participating in our practice, Yoga for Depression. My hope is that at the end of class, you are feeling maybe a little bit more lightness or a little bit more ease. And again, know that this class or yoga is not a cure for depression, but hopefully you can return to this practice anytime you're looking for a little extra support. If you have practices or resources that you turn to that you find helpful, please share them in the comments below. I wish I had a camera on you right now. It's not fair. But they can't see what's happening behind the camera right now. Stomach's growling. Not working for me today. But now I have to recover from that image. Just keeps getting better and better. Let's try that again.